A wealthy person once told me, "Money doesn't disappear by accident. It vanishes because you never decided where it should stay." That hit differently when I realized most people work their entire lives and can't account for a single decade of earnings. 5 years, 60 months of waking up, commuting, working, coming home exhausted, 130 paychecks, give or take. Thousands of hours trading your life for money. And somehow, at the end of it all, you look around and ask yourself, where did it all go? If that question haunts you, you're not alone. But here's what separates those who build wealth from those who watch it evaporate: awareness. The money didn't vanish into thin air. You spent it. The question is whether you spent it consciously or unconsciously. Let me tell you what I've observed managing businesses for 8 years and advising clients for 15. The average person suffers from financial amnesia. They earn, they spend, they repeat. No tracking, no intentionality. Just a blur of transactions that somehow results in an empty bank account and a closet full of things they forgot they bought. If you're ready to step away from the crowd and make wiser financial decisions, subscribe. This channel is here to help you see money differently. The invisible leak in your financial ship isn't usually one big purchase. It's 1,000 small ones. Coffee runs that seemed insignificant. Subscription services you forgot existed. Impulse purchases that felt justified in the moment. Dining out because cooking felt like too much effort. Each transaction individually feels harmless. Collectively, they're devastating. I had a client in Montreal, successful marketing director, 6-figure income. She came to me confused and frustrated. "Franklin," she said, "I make good money. I'm not reckless, so why do I have nothing to show for it?" We did something simple but uncomfortable. Tracked every dollar for 3 months. The results shocked her. 38% of her income disappeared into what I call lifestyle leakage. Not rent, not investments, not even memorable experiences. Just stuff. Convenient stuff. Comfortable stuff. Stuff that made each day slightly easier, but left her 5 years older with the same net worth she had when she started that job. Here's what most financial advisors won't tell you, because it's not complicated enough to justify their fees. You don't have a money problem. You have an attention problem. You're not tracking. You're not measuring. You're not forcing yourself to confront the uncomfortable truth about your spending patterns. And in that blind spot, your future disappears one transaction at a time. Let me share something from my own journey. Before I built my businesses, I was working a corporate job in the States. Decent salary. Benefits. The whole package. I thought I was doing fine until a friend who earned less than me bought his first rental property. I was stunned. How? We made comparable money and I could barely cover my bills. He showed me his system. Nothing fancy. A simple spreadsheet. Every dollar had a name before it arrived. Housing, food, transportation, investment, emergency fund. Entertainment had a number. Dining out had a limit. The money didn't control him anymore. He controlled it. That conversation changed my trajectory. Within 2 years of implementing intentional spending, I had saved my first $50,000. Not because I earned more, because I decided where my money went instead of wondering where it went. Now, I know what you're thinking. "Franklin, tracking every expense sounds exhausting." You're right. For about 2 weeks. Then it becomes automatic. Then it becomes empowering. Because suddenly, you're not a victim of your finances. You're the architect. Here's a practical framework I give my clients. I call it the 3-bucket system. Every dollar that comes in gets immediately divided. 50% goes to essentials and obligations. 30% goes to future you, investments, savings, wealth building. 20% goes to present you, experiences, enjoyment, quality of life. The magic isn't in the percentages. You can adjust those. The magic is in the decision-making before the spending. Money that's allocated doesn't mysteriously disappear. Money that's unassigned evaporates like water in the desert sun. I've worked with hundreds of employees over the years. The ones who build wealth aren't necessarily the highest earners. They're the most intentional spenders. I've seen people making $40,000 annually accumulate more wealth than colleagues making $90,000. The difference? One group treated money like a tool to be directed. The other treated it like water flowing through their hands. Let me tell you about my friend Richard, a tech entrepreneur in San Francisco. Multi-millionaire now. But 15 years ago, he was broke despite a good salary. He did something extreme that changed everything. For 1 month, he required himself to wait 72 hours before any non-essential purchase over $50. The result? He canceled about 60% of his planned purchases. Not because he couldn't afford them, because the urgency faded. The emotional trigger that made him want it disappeared. He realized he'd been spending thousands on impulses that evaporated within days. Now, I'm not suggesting you need his exact system, but I am suggesting you need a system. Because here's the brutal truth. Your money is going somewhere. Either you're deciding where, or everyone else is. Advertisers decide. Algorithms decide. Social pressure decides. Convenience decides. And you wake up 5 years later wondering what happened. Creating this content takes real time and effort from my team and me. We research, we analyze, we distill years of experience into minutes of value. If you're finding this helpful, if you're starting to see money differently, subscribe. It encourages our work and ensures you don't miss the financial insights that could genuinely change your trajectory. Where are you watching this from? Drop your location in the comments. I love seeing where our community spans globally. And if you're a subscriber, I read your comments first. That's my commitment to those who commit to this journey. The path forward is simpler than you think. Start with 30 days of perfect tracking. I don't care if you use an app, a spreadsheet, or a notebook. Just write down every single dollar that leaves your possession. Every coffee, every app purchase, every meal, everything. At the end of 30 days, categorize it. You'll immediately see your patterns, and those patterns will reveal why you're not where you want to be financially. Then make one change. Just one. Maybe you're spending $400 monthly on food delivery. Cut that in half. Redirect the savings, watch what happens over 6 months, over a year, over 5 years. This isn't about deprivation. This isn't about living like a monk. This is about consciousness, about intentionality, about ensuring that when you look back 5 years from now, you see progress, not mystery. I'll leave you with this. Time is going to pass anyway. 5 years from today will arrive whether you take action or not. The only question is whether future you will thank, present you, or resent present you. Make the choice. Track your money. Direct your money. Build your wealth. Check the description for my last video on wealth building mistakes even smart people make. And watch the end screen for what to tackle next on your financial journey. Your money is talking. Start listening.